I'm Mateo and I'm a dancer at Grad. And today I will be doing stage makeup on my friend Hannah. So I like using a brush when I do foundation because I find that it's easier to blend out than a sponge. So I'm just gonna put the foundation on the sponge. On the brush. And I also like blending it down into the neck just so that it's like an even match all over the face. So that there's no harsh lines anywhere. You have good skin. Thanks. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit more for the other side of her face. And then I also like tapping it so that there are no like streaky lines anywhere on the face, and just that it blends sort of into the skin instead of laying on top of the skin. And first I like to lay down the concealer just in the places where you want to sort of brighten and like make it pop on stage. So it'll be under the eyes, the forehead, the nose, and then on the chin. And then blend. Alright, and then after concealer, I like to go in with powder just to sort of set the face. And this is translucent powder, so it's like a loose powder. You don't have to use this. You can also use any foundation powder. I just like to use this because I find that it sets a lot faster, and so that there are no lines under the eyes or creases. And it's also going to make the face matte as opposed to like shiny. And then after that, I'm going to go into contour. So I like using powder contour, just again, it's easier to blend rather than a cream. And I'm going to go in with a cooler toned brown so that she doesn't look orange. And I just like to use this just to sort of warm up the face and add dimension to the cheeks. And now I'm going to go in with the eyebrows. And you already have really like shaped natural eyebrows, so I'm not really gonna do too much. And you don't really need to do like a lot for eyebrows anyway. So I'm just kind of like filling in the ends of her eyebrows where there's more like sparseness to fill in. This is just gonna make the eyebrows like more shaped. I'm using a pencil, but you can also use any eyeshadow you want, any powder. It doesn't really matter what you use. And then after that, then I'm going to go in with a brow gel. And this is just to make sure the eyebrows stay in place and the pencil that we just put on doesn't move. And now, while the rest of the face is still setting, I'm going to go in with eyeshadow. And we're going to mostly focus on these browns and then a gold. The brand is Juvia's Place, and the palette is called the Nubian. And this is my favorite eyeshadow brand because the colors are the most pigmented and there's a lot of color in them. And they're actually really inexpensive, so that's good. So I'm going to focus this lighter brown sort of all over the crease of her eye, and then bringing it in. And then same thing on the other eye. And a lot of the brushes I use are from Morphe, which is the brand, and they're also really inexpensive. And then we're going to go in with just this really like dark brown. And this is just going to be focused like right on the outer V here. We're not going to bring it up as high as the other browns, because then it can look really muddy and that won't look cute. And anytime you're adding dark shades, it's adding like dimension and shadow, and I think it's a really pretty look on the eye. Okay, and then we are going to go in with this gold shade, and we're gonna just put the gold, I'm gonna mix it with this one right on the center of her eye. So we're not gonna bring it back here because it's a shimmer shade and we don't want to mix it into the matte shades. So I'm just gonna take the gold shimmer all over the eye here. And gold and brown, they go really, really well together. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the exact same on this. And another thing about the setting powder that we put down, a lot of eyeshadows have fallout, which means that anytime you apply it onto the face, they fall down onto like your cheeks, which can cause the foundation to look really muddy and it's hard to clean up. So just by putting the powder under the eyes, you're basically catching the eyeshadow from falling. So then later we're gonna wipe away the powder and all of that eyeshadow that fell will go with it. Okay, open. Okay. And then one more for the eyeshadow. We're going to go in with this really light shimmer shade, and this is just gonna be for the inner eye corner. So we're going from dark to light. And I like doing this just because it makes the eyes look more awake and open anytime you put like a white in the waterline or just like a nice shimmery color in the inner eye corner. Open. Okay. So I like using a liquid eyeliner. You can use a gel eyeliner, a pencil, doesn't really matter, it's all on your preference. And so I like just lifting the eyebrow a little bit because a lot of eyes have like folds here, which makes it hard to see what you're actually doing on the lid. So I like just pulling the eyebrow up so I can see what I'm doing. And I like to start from the outer corner because a lot of times you're gonna do a wing. And I like doing wings starting from the out. And then bringing it in. So I like starting with just one line like that. And then and connect it. And then we're just going to go all over the lid and then connect it to the wing. And I like to do mascara before fake eyelashes because it blends the fake ones with your real eyelashes. So now we're going to go in with the fake eyelashes.
Yeah.
So this is an eyelash glue, and this one just has a paintbrush on it. And I find this is easier than the squeeze tube just because you can get a more accurate, like where you're putting the glue on the band. And then I like having, can you just look like straight? And I like having them look straight because I can actually see where her eyelid is and where her like lash line is, because you want to get your eyelashes as close to the lash line as possible. So now that we have that on, then I'm just going to sort of push the lashes with the fake ones. And then after that, then we're going to use mascara, and we're going to blend the fake eyelashes with the real ones again. This is why I said a lot of mascara from the beginning doesn't really matter, because you're just going to be adding more anyway, and you're not really going to see your natural lashes. So that's the first lash on. And just doing the same on the other eyelash. So I just like wiped away the powder under her eyes. So now we are going to go in with blush. And when you're on stage, you want to add a little bit more blush than what you are normally doing on a regular basis, because it's just going to add color to your cheeks and make you just have more color so that you're not as flushed on stage, because the bright lights can really make your skin look deathly. By now, we're just going to focus on sort of like the finishing touches. So we're going to go in with lipstick now. And on stage, you're mostly going to have red lipstick just because it's one of the brightest like colors, and it can really make your lips pop on stage. And so we're just going to work from the bottom of the lip. And this is a matte lipstick, and is this Revlon?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Revlon. You can also use a liquid lipstick, which dries matte, and that's fine too. They're a little bit harder to use just because it is a liquid and it's not a regular stick, but either one will work. Open a bit wider. So this is my favorite. This is highlighter. And you definitely don't have to do this. I like to do this because it adds shimmer to the cheeks or anywhere that you want to add shimmer. And so it's just gonna like make the whole look just pop even more. So I'm gonna go in with this. And this is a powder highlighter. There are many different types of highlighters you can do. There's liquid highlighter, cream highlighter. Again, it's whatever you want. You can even use an eyeshadow that is shimmery and use that instead. And we're not going to use too much because when the lights are on, it can get distracting when there's a lot if you turn your face. So then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, and another thing I didn't mention with the eyeshadow, when you're picking up color, I like to tap just some of the excess off because I find that it's easier to build up to how much color you want if you tap it off, whereas if you just go straight with it, it can be like too much color at once, and then it's really hard to diffuse it. It's always easier to add more than it is to take away. And so with highlighter, we're basically drawing attention to the places we want. So it's basically the opposite of like contour. Contouring, you're adding shadow to where you want to sort of hide or make look a little smaller. But with highlighter, we're bringing out the natural features that you want to bring out on stage. And then, for our last step, so this is just setting spray. And I like doing this because it makes sure the foundation doesn't get creasy, it doesn't sort of like sweat off, melt off, anything that can happen. Because when you're in the lights, it can get really hot. And so I like doing this, and it's just a really fine mist. And this is actually coconut water setting spray. And this is my favorite. And then just do this with your face. And I like doing that just because it sets in the setting spray. And that is it.